For today's topic, we will discuss budgeting. We'll mainly focus on the operating budget. First, let us define budget. So, budget is a realistic plan expressed in quantitative terms for a certain period of time. Ang budget, remember nung discuss tayo ng management functions under ng controlling. This is mainly used as a benchmark for the company's targeted performance. So, magagamit mo siya to evaluate the performance of a division of a company. Why do we use budgets? Ano ba yung mga advantages ng budgeting? 1. Budgets can be used by top management to communicate its plans and goals throughout the organization. So, budgets shall mirror the goals set by the organization. Number 2, budgets force management to think about and plan for the future. Since kailangan nila ma-meet yung budget, they're gonna have to take precautions and procedures necessary para ma-meet yung goals na nakaset. 3. Through budgeting, resources are more appropriately allocated. Pag gumawa ka ng budget, meron ka ng expected na demand. So, mag-allocate ka ng appropriate amount needed para mag-purchase this amount of materials para ma-produce yung specific na demand ng customer. Maliban doon, you will also plan for the necessary plant and machineries for the production of such products. So, mag-isip ka kung ano-ano yung mga equipment na kailangan mong rentahan. Meron ka bang kailangan i-subcontract? Or kailangan mo bang mag-acquire ng new equipment para sa production? 4. Through budgeting, potential bottlenecks can be discovered before they occur. When we say bottlenecks, ito yung maturing nating constraint or something that hinders the company from achieving its goal. It can also reflect a non-value-adding activity. Number 5, budgeting promotes coordination of the activities of the entire organization. Since the different divisions of the company is lining themselves towards specific goals, these budgets will help them coordinate to each other in order to produce the desired results of the organization. And lastly, the goals and objectives identified in the budgeting process can serve as benchmarks or standards for evaluating performance. So, dito na papasok yung controlling function. Gagamitin mo yung budgets para ma-evaluate yung results or performance ng managers of each division. Bago tayo makagawa ng budget, ano ba yung mga necessary factors to consider? Isa na dito yung budget committee. So, the company should form a budget committee. This is a group composed of key management personnel who are responsible for overall policy matters relating to the budget program and for coordinating the preparation of the budget itself. A group composed of key management personnel. So, ang budget committee, it can consist of persons coming from the top management as well as those in the mid-level and lower levels. As long as yung capabilities and expertise ng mga personnel involved are necessary to do the procedures in order to create the budget. Master budget. This is defined as the organization's operating and financial plans for a certain period of time, usually referred to as the budget period. It is composed of operating budget and the financial budget. What do we mean by operating budget? Nagre-refer to sa revenues and expenses, as well as the production costs. What about financial budget? It refers to the financial position, which is consists of the assets, liabilities, and equity of the company, as well as the cash budget. For today's topic, we will discuss about operating budget. So without further ado, let us proceed to the procedural example. Example number 1. Globalcom Company is a manufacturer of video conferencing products. Regular units are manufactured to meet marketing projections, and specialized units are made after an order is received. Maintaining the video conference equipment is an important area of customer satisfaction. With the recent downturn in the computer industry, the video conferencing equipment segment has suffered, leading to a decline in Globalcom's financial performance. The following income statement shows the results for the year 2021. So for 2021, they generated a net operating income of 55,000. Globalcom's management team is in the process of preparing the 2022 budget and is studying the following information. So this information are the necessary things you're gonna have to consider in creating the budgeted income statement. So let's try creating the budgeted income statement for Globalcom Company for the year 2022. So first, let's fill up the headings. The name of the company, Globalcom. The title of the statement, which would be the budgeted income statement. And the period covered for the year ending December 31, 2022. Revenues. So this consists of two. One coming from the equipment sales. Ano nga ba yung kanilang binibenta? Yun ay video conferencing products. And then there's the maintenance contracts. So what would be the budgeted amounts for these two revenues? Tingin tayo dun sa information na binigay ng problem. First, selling prices of equipment are expected to increase by 10% as the economic recovery begins. The selling price of each maintenance contract remains the same in 2022. Aside from that, another information related dito sa dalawa is ito. Equipment sales in units are expected to increase by 6% with a corresponding 6% growth in the units of maintenance contracts. So try natin kumpitin yung budgeted equipment sales and budgeted maintenance contracts. So sabi, yung unit sales daw ng equipment expected to increase by 6%. So currently, ang sales is 600,000. At ayan. Then if mag-increase siya ng 6% in terms of units, madadagdagan din to ng 6%. Multiply natin siya by 1.06. Bakit 1.06? Yung 1, it represents the 100%, which is the 600,000. Yung 0.06 naman, it represents the 6% increase. Kaya 1.06. Aside from that, sabi rin ng problem, the selling price of the equipment is expected to increase by 10%. So aside from 1.06, multiply pa natin to by 1.10. So let's compute. 600,000 times 1.06 times 1.10. We get 699,600. What about the maintenance contracts? So 180,000 multiply natin by 1.06. Sinabi dito na ang increase sa equipment sales has a corresponding growth of 6% in maintenance contracts. So multiply din natin siya by 1.06. What about the selling price? Nabanggit dun sa unang information na the selling price of each maintenance contract remains the same in 2022. So there would be no changes in the selling price for the maintenance contract. So to compute the maintenance contracts, magkoconsist lang siya ng 180,000 multiplied by the 1.06. Then we will get the total revenues amounting to 890,400. What about the cost of goods sold? Ang cost of goods sold, directly related siya dun sa equipment sales. Sabi, yung unit sales daw mag-increase by 6%. So malamang si cost of goods sold, mag-increase din siya by 0.06. So we'll multiply the 460,000 by 1.06. Aside from that, may additional pang information. Sabi, cost of each unit sold is expected to increase by 3% to pay the necessary technology and quality improvements. So aside from 1.06, i-multiply din natin siya by 1.03. We get the budgeted cost of goods sold amounting to 502,228. Then we can now compute for the gross margin. This is equal to total revenues minus cost of goods sold. 388,172. Then we deduct the budgeted operating expenses. Let's start with the marketing costs. Marketing costs are expected to increase by 25,000, but the administration costs are expected to remain at 2021 levels. So, ang may changes lang is si marketing costs. Si administration costs remains the same. So, kung 90,000 siya sa 2021, for 2022, expected siya to be 90,000 din. Ang marketing cost naman mag-i-increase by 25,000. So, 60,000, add ka lang ng 25,000. We would get 85,000. Distribution costs. Distribution costs vary in proportion to the number of units of equipment sold. So, ang gagamitin mo na information para makuha mo yung budgeted distribution is yung changes sa unit sales, which is the increase of 6%. So, ang dati mong distribution cost is 15,000. Multiply mo lang siya by 1.06. Again, yung 1 dito, it refers to the 100%, which is the 15,000 itself. And then the 0.06 is the increase. Kaya siya i-multiply by 1.06. Meaning, 15,000 plus yung 0.06 increase sa 15,000. We'll get 15,900. Customer maintenance. Two maintenance technicians are expected to be added at a total cost of 13,000, which covers wages and related travel costs. The objective is to improve the customer service and shorten response time. So, in 2021, ang maintenance cost mo is 100,000. But in 2022, it is expected to increase by 13,000. Mula dun sa mga inad na maintenance technicians. So, we would get 100,000 plus 13,000, 113,000. Let's get the total budgeted operating expenses. $303,900. Then let's compute the net operating income, which is equal to gross margin minus operating expenses. So the budgeted operating income or expected operating income for 2022 would be 84,272. Example number 2. This time it will involve detailed manufacturing costs. So Pacific Incorporated manufactures and sells skateboards. Pacific manufactures a single model called the Speedy. In the summer of 2021, Pacific's accountant gathered the following data in order to prepare the budgets for 2022. These are the material and labor requirements. Pacific CEO expects to sell 1,000 skateboards during 2022 at an estimated retail price of 450 pesos per skateboard. Further, he expects 2022 beginning inventory of 100 skateboards and would like to end 2022 with 200 skateboards in stock. We are given also the direct materials inventory for 2022 beginning and ending. Additional information: variable manufacturing overhead is allocated at the rate of 7 pesos per direct manufacturing labor hour. There are also 66,000 in fixed manufacturing overhead costs budgeted for 2022. Pacific combines both variable and fixed manufacturing overhead into a single rate based on direct manufacturing labor hours. Variable marketing costs are allocated at the rate of 250 pesos per sales visit. The marketing plan calls for 30 sales visits during 2022. Finally, there are 30,000 fixed non-manufacturing costs for 2022. And also we are given the selling price per unit in 2021 and 2022. The inventoriable unit cost for ending finished goods inventory on December 31, 2021 was 374 pesos and 80 centavos. Assume Pacific uses a first in, first out, meaning FIFO inventory method for both direct materials and finished goods. Ignore work in process in your calculations. And then here are the requirements. So let us solve for these requirements. Let's start with number 1. Calculate the 2022 budgeted revenues in pesos. Para makalculate mo itong budgeted revenue, kailanganin mo yung projected number of units to be sold in 2022 multiply by the expected unit price. So, hanapin natin yun sa problem. On the second paragraph, it was mentioned that the CEO expects to sell 1,000 skateboards during 2022 at an estimated retail price of 450 pesos per skateboard. So let's compute the budgeted revenue. So projected sales in units, projected or budgeted, pareho lang yan. Yun ay 1,000 units. Multiply natin by the retail price. So multiply by which is 450 pesos per skateboard. We get the budgeted revenue for 2022. So 1,000 units times the selling price per unit, we get 450,000. Requirement number 2, calculate the 2022 budgeted production in units. Para makalculate natin yan, kailangan natin yung projected unit sales. Then, add natin dyan yung expected natin na ending finished goods plus yung expected na beginning finished goods. So, budgeted or projected sales in units, 1,000 units. Add yung finished goods ending ilang units yon. So, sabi, further, CEO expects 2022 beginning inventory of 100 and would like to end with 200 skateboard in stocks. So, ending finished goods natin expected is 200. We get the total. And then, we subtract the beginning finished goods. Ang ina-expect natin is 100 skateboards. Beginning inventory of 100. Then we will get the budgeted production. So 1,200 minus 100. We get 1,100 units. Requirement number 3. Calculate the budgeted direct materials usage and purchases. Una muna, calculate muna natin kung ilang units ba yung kailangan para ma-produce tong ini-expect na 1,100 units na budgeted production. Ilan ba yung kailangan na wood per skateboard saka fiberglass? So sabi, materials and labor requirements for wood, kailangan ng 5 board feet per skateboard. Ang fiber naman, fiberglass, 6 yards per skateboard. Una muna yung wood. Ilang unit yung kailangan para ma-produce yung 1,100? Calculate natin. So, 1,100 na budgeted production, multiply mo siya by the number of wood per skateboard. That is 5. We get 5,500. What about fiberglass? So 1,100 multiplied by 6 yards per skateboard. So times 6, we get 6,600 yards. So for wood, we need 5,500 board feet. For fiberglass, we need 6,600 yards. So how much would this cost? Una muna for the wood. So meron sa ating binigay na beginning inventory in January 1, 2022. Meaning, ito yung ending inventory ng 2021 na kineri over sa 2022. And then we have the expected usage. And then we have the ending inventory. So assuming you will use FIFO, first in, first out. So dito sa 5,500 board feet na wood na gagamitin, ini-expect mo na 2,000 dyan manggagaling sa beginning inventory following the FIFO. And ang cost nito in 2021 was 28 pesos per board feet. So, computein natin. From beginning inventory, yan ay 2,000 units times cost per unit ng 2021, 28 pesos. We will get times 28, 56,000. And then, mula naman dun sa purchases. Yung kailangan mong bilhin for 2022 para makomplete mo yung 1,100 na targeted production. So, kung 2,000 manggagaling sa beginning, ilan na lang yung magagaling sa purchases? Yun ay 5,500 less 2,000 na nanggaling sa beginning. And then, yan naman i-multiply mo by the cost per board feet sa 2022. Yun ay 30 pesos. How much would that be? So, 5,500 minus 2,000, you get 3,500 times 30, 105,000. So, for the wood, total materials usage would be 56,000 plus 105, we get 161,000. What about the fiberglass? So, same application. From beginning inventory, ilan yung beginning inventory ng fiberglass? That is 1,000 units. Which was purchased in 2021 at a price of 4 pesos and 80 centavos per yard. So, times 4.80. We get 4,800. Mula naman sa purchases. Following FIFO, ang required mo na number ng yards ng fiberglass for 2022 is 6,600 yards. And then, meron ka ng beginning na 1,000 yards. So, ilan na lang yung magagaling sa purchases? Yun ay 6,600 minus 1,000, that would be 5,600. So, 6,600 minus 1,000 mula sa beginning inventory. Then, multiply natin sa price niyan sa 2022, which is 5 pesos per yard. So, 6,600 minus 1,000 equals 5,600 times 5 pesos. We get 28,000. So, 4,800 plus 28,000, we get 32,800. So, total, budgeted, direct materials, usage, would be 161,000 plus 32,800, 193,800. How about the budgeted direct materials purchases? So, meron tayong figures for the expected ending inventory. And then we have the necessary or needed wood and fiberglass in units para ma-produce yung 1,100 budgeted production na skateboards. So, magkano naman yung magiging purchases per wood and fiberglass? So, una muna, wood. Ang expected wood in units na kailangan is 5,500. So, budgeted units of wood budgeted wood usage in units 5,500. Add natin yung expected na ending finished goods. Hindi. Ending inventory of goods in units, which is 1,500. Pag inad natin yan, makukuha natin yung total available woods for use. So, 5,500 plus 1,500, we get 7,000. Subtract naman natin dyan yung beginning inventory of food, which is 2,000 units. we will get the budgeted purchases wood purchases in units. 7,000 minus 2,000, 5,000. Multiply by cost per unit in 2022. Magkano yun? Yun ay 30 pesos na per board feet. So, multiply by 30 pesos. We get the budgeted wood purchases in peso amounting to 150,000. What about the fiberglass? Meron tayong budgeted na fiberglass usage in units na 6,600 yards. Add natin yung ending inventory na expected natin na fiberglass. Binigay sa atin yun ng problem, yun ay 2,000 units. We get the total expected available fiberglass for use. So, 6,600 plus 2,000, 8,600. Less natin yung beginning inventory of fiberglass. Which is 1,000 units. So we get the budgeted fiberglass purchases in units amounting to 6 minus 1,000, 7,600 units. Ang wood, remember ito ay per board feet. Ang fiberglass naman per yard. Then, multiply natin sa cost per unit niya sa 2022. Yun ay 5 pesos per yard. We get the budgeted fiberglass purchases in peso. ₱38,000 pesos. So, ito yung total budgeted direct materials usage. Ano naman yung ating total budgeted direct materials purchases? That would be 150,000 na budgeted wood purchases plus 38,000. 188,000. Number 4 requirement, calculate the budgeted direct manufacturing labor costs. So we already completed the budgeted production in units, which is 1,100. And the required direct labor hours per skateboard is 5 hours. So multiply lang natin to by 5 hours. Multiply by direct labor hours per skateboard. We get the budgeted direct labor hours. So 1,100 times 5, we get 5,500 hours. And then multiply naman natin to by direct labor cost per hour sa 2022, which is how much? 25 pesos per hour. We get the budgeted direct labor cost. 5,500 times 25, 137,500. Number 5. Calculate the budgeted manufacturing overhead. So, ang manufacturing overhead natin consists of two: variable manufacturing overhead and fixed manufacturing overhead. So, ang variable manufacturing overhead natin, magkano siya? Yung budgeted. Sabi sa problem, variable manufacturing overhead is allocated at the rate of 7 pesos per direct manufacturing labor hour. So, 7 multiply natin by, na-compute natin na budgeted labor hours, which is 5,500. So, 7 times 5,500. So, 7 pesos times 5,500 hours, we get 38,500. What about the fixed manufacturing overhead? Sabi, there are also 66,000 in fixed manufacturing overhead budgeted for 2022. So, this is equal to 66,000. We add those two, we get the budgeted manufacturing overhead for 2022. 38,500 plus 66,000, we get 104,500 pesos. Requirement number 6. What is the budgeted manufacturing overhead rate? So, meron na tayo nung budgeted manufacturing overhead na 104,500. And then, paano kinocompute ni Pacific yung overhead rate? Sabi, Pacific combines both variable and fixed manufacturing overhead into a single rate based on direct manufacturing labor hours. So, divide lang natin to by budgeted direct labor hours, which was 5,500 hours. We get the budgeted factory overhead rate $104,500 pesos divided by 5,500 hours, we get 19 pesos overhead rate per hour per direct labor hour. Number 7. What is the budgeted manufacturing overhead cost per output unit? We already have the budgeted manufacturing overhead. And then, nung kinumpute natin yung overhead rate, we get the 19 pesos. Pero ang kailangan natin this time is yung overhead cost per output unit. How much would that be? Remember na, ang direct labor hours per skateboard is 5 hours. So all we have to do is to multiply this overhead rate by 5. So budgeted factory overhead rate 19 multiply by direct labor hours per skateboard, which is 5 hours. We get the budgeted manufacturing overhead cost per output unit. $19 pesos times 5 hours, 95 pesos. Number 8. Calculate the cost of a skateboard manufactured in 2022. So let's compute. Una muna, direct materials. This will consist of wood and fiber glass. And then direct labor. And the manufacturing overhead. Wood. Ang kailangan natin per skateboard is 5 board feet. So, 5 times. How much is the cost of wood per board feet? Yun ay, binigay yan dito, under 2022, 30 pesos per board feet. So, times 30. So, we get 5 times 30. 150. What about the fiberglass? Kailangan ng 6 yards kada skateboard. And then, ang cost niyan is 5 pesos per yard under 2022. So, 6 times 5. So, 6 yards times 5 pesos. 30. We get the direct materials cost per output unit na 180. What about the direct labor cost? Yan ay 5 hours kada skateboard. So, 5 hours multiplied by the direct labor rate. Given na yun sa problem. Magkano yun? 7 pesos. Hindi, ito ay variable manufacturing overhead. So, ang direct labor cost natin would be nakuha na natin yung budgeted direct labor cost. Para yan dun sa 5,500 hours na minultiply by the direct labor cost per hour, 25 pesos. Yan yung given sa 2022. 25 pesos per hour. So, direct labor cost would be 5 hours times 25 pesos. We get 5 times 25, 125 pesos. And then, yung manufacturing overhead per unit. Nakumpita natin yung overhead rate, which is 19 pesos per direct labor hour. Pero ilang hours ang kailangan para sa isang skateboard? Yun ay 5 hours. So, 19 overhead rate times 5 hours, we get 95 pesos. So, ang budgeted cost of a skateboard is equal to 400 pesos per skateboard. Number 9, calculate the budgeted ending inventory for both direct materials and finished goods. Unahin muna natin yung direct materials. This consists of wood and fiberglass. Binigay na sa atin yung ending inventory ng wood saka fiberglass. And following yung FIFO, malamang yung ending inventory natin, nanggaling yan dun sa na-purchase natin sa 2022, which is ang wood 30 pesos per board feet, ang fiberglass naman 5 pesos per yard. So let's compute. Wood is 1,500 board feet. Multiply natin by cost per board feet, 30 pesos. We get 45,000. Ang fiberglass naman, ang ending inventory natin dyan is 2,000 times 5 pesos per yard. $10,000. We get the budgeted ending direct materials cost. Ito yung cost ng ending inventory ng materials. $55,000. What about the cost of ending finished goods? Sabi, ang ini-expect daw na finished goods, the inventoriable unit cost for ending finished goods, hindi ito. Kasi ang tinutukoy dito is yung December 31, 2021. Ang kailangan natin is yung units, ending finished goods units ng December 31, 2022. This one. Further, the CEO expects 22 beginning inventory of 100 and would like to end with 200 skateboards in stock. So, ito yung tinutukoy na ending finished goods. And magkano yung cost nito? So, projected or expected finished goods inventory this is 200 skateboards. And then, di ba, na-compute na natin yung budgeted cost kada skateboard, which is 400 pesos. So, multiply by budgeted cost of a skateboard, which is 400. We get the budgeted ending finished goods cost equal to sa 200 finished goods inventory in units multiply by 400 pesos, you get 80,000 pesos. Number 10. How much is the budgeted cost of goods sold? So, magsimula muna tayo sa total cost of goods manufactured. So, nakumpita natin yung direct materials usage, direct labor cost, saka budgeted manufacturing overhead. So, budgeted direct materials usage Budgeted direct materials. Ito. 193,800. Plus yung budgeted direct labor cost, 137,500. Plus yung budgeted manufacturing overhead, 104,500. We get the total cost of goods manufactured. Remember na wala tayong work in process. Sabi sa problem, ignore work in process in your calculation. So yung total factory cost natin, yun na rin mismo yung cost of goods manufactured. And then remember yung formula ng cost of goods sold. Yan ay finished goods beginning, add cost of goods manufactured equals total goods available for sale. Then less finished goods ending then we get the cost of goods sold. Compute natin to. So sabi, the inventoriable unit cost for ending finished goods inventory on December 31, 2021, previous year to, was 374.80. So ito kinary forward to us beginning inventory ng 2022. At ilan nga ba yung expected beginning finished goods inventory sa 2022? Yan ay 100 units. So, compute natin yung finished goods beginning. 100 units multiplied by 374.80. $37,480. Add the cost of goods manufactured, 43,800. We get the total goods available for sale, 473,280. Less the finished goods ending, na-compute natin to, budgeted ending finished goods cost, 80,000. We get the budgeted cost of goods sold. $393,280. We are now down to the last requirement, number 11. Prepare the budgeted income statement. Sa una muna yung tatlong heading. Name of the company, Pacific Incorporated. Title ng statement, Budgeted Income Statement. period covered for the year ending December 31, 2022. Let's write sales. Ano yung ating budgeted sales? Kinumpit na natin to sa requirement number 1. Budgeted revenues for 2022 equals 450,000. Less cost of goods sold. Kinumpit na natin yan, 393,280. Budgeted cost of goods sold. Then we will get the gross profit. Pwede rin gross margin, pareho din yun. 450,000 minus cost of goods sold, we get 56,720 gross profit. Then we subtract the operating expenses. So less operating expenses. Ano yung binigay ng problem? Dito, variable marketing costs are allocated at the rate of 250 pesos per sales visit. And then, the marketing plan calls for 30 sales visits in 2022. So, yun ay 250 times 30. So, marketing costs equal siya sa 250 pesos times 30 sales visits, 7,500. And then, there are 30,000 fixed non-manufacturing costs for 2022. So, ito na yung remaining costs. So, other costs, other operating expenses, which is 30,000. We get total operating expenses amounting to 37,500. Then, pag sinubtract natin yan mula sa gross profit, we get the net operating income. Which is equal to, so 56,720 minus 37,500, 19,220 budgeted net operating income.